Mike, the favorite.
Little Mike. I've got Big Carlo, Little Nick, and the actual Little Mike here. We'll get to the boys in just a second, but Carlo, you come into this race off a win, second off the layoff, 3-2. Are you surprised you're the favorite in this race?
Well, I'm a little surprised by the horse run after 10 months layoff, run a tremendous race, and we decided, Dale and I, to stretch him out a mile and 8. I think it's probably the class of the field, but, you know, we have to just, everything to be perfect, you know, for us just to accomplish a win here.
I'm not going to ask you about tactics. We know what he wants to do, but what about a mile and 8? Are you concerned that that might be a little long?
Well, I'm a little concerned, but I think a speed carry, the way the racetrack is going today, it's kind of a hard racetrack, and I think the speed is going to carry it.
We wish you the best, Carlo. Nick is the great prophet. You might recognize him from the 09 Summit of Speed. He gave Little Nick as a winner. Are you guaranteeing a victory here this afternoon?
We're going to need a good race today, and if everything's good with the horse, the jockey, and the time, we'll win.
Well spoken. Little Mike, you going to get it done?
Yep.
That's all I'm getting from Mike, I guarantee you. The Vaccarezza family looking to keep Little Mike going here at Gulfstream Park.
The person, Little Mike, playing it low key. The favorite, the horse, Little Mike, at 8-5 from the Sunshine Million, serve with a $150,000 purse. Back down to Gulfstream Park to Caden Grader and Scott Ainsworth. It's all yours.
They're going to let the horse do the talking as far as Little Mike is concerned on Little Mike's end, and he is the favorite, 9-5. So much fun to watch. You know how quick he is, but I think the biggest concern has to be the mile and 8, Caden.
You know, Dale didn't seem to think it was a concern, but I agree with you. When I looked at it, I just, you know, he looks like a very good miler and has done extremely well at that distance, but what he's going to do here today, and particularly I think with some pressure, because I think Beckham Ben is going to put some pressure on him early, and even Bad Dad is the type of horse who can every once in a while show a little bit of speed, but I just think it's a tall order for Little Mike. I'd love to see him come up with a big win, though. It's fun to see horses that come back year after year and do well, and particularly for the connections who are so passionate about the sport. A couple horses, though, that I think could be beneficiaries if those two do provide a good pace. Honestly, you can come from way, way out of it on this turf. Yeah, no who I. But I am looking at a couple long shots here. I thought the 10 was interesting. Not one of the long shots, by the way. 3-1 on Teeks North. But a horse who could sit a decent trip. John Velasquez looking for a hat trick. And, you know, I think he rides this turf course as well as anyone you're going to find. And in particular, Mark did tell us after that race, Hoffman's, the owner, you could call him trainer. He isn't a trainer of record, but he is weighing in on the way she trains. Talked to John beforehand and said John agreed with him completely, came to him with a plan. The plan was take her back, make one run. She did make that run and was much the best. But I thought what was key is he kept her in the clear. He kept her to the outside. She didn't ever have to hesitate. It was just a perfect trip, and I think John is really good at getting horses into those positions. Teeks North, if she can work out a trip, could be a very tough horse in here.
His wins, the last couple wins came in the Grade 3 Monmouth and the Grade 1 United Nations at Monmouth, so he's facing tough company, including Stasalita, as well as Get Stormy. So if he would win, it wouldn't be a massive surprise. But as far as the luck pick 6 so far, we saw a 17-1 shot with Who Why taking it. So it's proved a tough situation to try to handicap this one. But then you got a little help in leg number 2, Campari, the favorite at Santa Anita, getting the win at 4 even.
You know, and this one pretty well spread. The scratches, of course, of the 7, 8, and 9, and the leg 3 makes it just a little bit easier from a handicapping standpoint and a little tougher to get a big price home. But if you were price shopping a bit right now, a horse that caught my eye in terms of looks, I didn't like him on paper initially, but the 2, Livingston Street, who is currently 35-1, really made a nice appearance in the paddock and has been bouncing all over the track since he got out of the post parade. And, you know, Juan Leyva, of course, regular go-to rider for Bill Kaplan with Musical Romance, who had the mishap, a bit of a bad trip, so to speak, with the shoe and the issue there. Livingston Street is kind of interesting. He has never won against this level, so to speak, but he has run some decent races on the grass. So I think he could surprise a few people here.
The one bad thing about him is he's run 14 times here at Gulfstream Park, no wins in 3 seconds. But I think you look at that Bonnie Heath Turf Cup, he was only a length and a half beaten by Bad Debt. Bad Debt right now is a 9-2 horse on the tote board, so he can come around and make an impact on this race late. I like Slew's Answer too. I know the Grand Motion with this filly, she ran a decent race in the last Unbridled Humor. Slew's Answer hasn't been seen since that Bonnie Heath, but has run 2 nice races here at Gulfstream Park. Stepped into Grade 2 company going back to last May at Pimlico, ran into Patio Prado, who at the time was the best 3-year-old on grass. So I think Slew's Answer, you could see a solid effort from him off the layoff, working well.
I agree with you. We saw Ramon Dominguez winning the first race to start the day, and it would not be a shocker to see him in the winner's circle here.
$150,000 on the line. Here's the Florida Sunshine Millions Turf.
Roman Tiger. Bell by the Ridge goes in. Roman Tiger, the last one. And they're all in line. They're off in the turf, and Little Mike goes right out to take the early lead. A slow start for Roman Tiger. Little Mike will make the pace. Beckham Bend away second, and then Slew's Answer to the inside. Teeks North is fourth early, 3 lengths off of Little Mike. And then it's Livingston Street, followed by Bad Debt, Bell by the Ridge, and Roman Tiger is the trailer, as Little Mike and Joe Bravo lead the charge into the first turn. Little Mike on top by 1.5 lengths. Beckham Bend second to the outside, and down at the rail in third is Slew's Answer. That first quarter was in 23 3/5 seconds. On the outside of them is Teeks North. He's fourth right now, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Then it's 1.5 lengths more back to Bad Debt. Livingston Street is after that. And in the back of the field are Bell by the Ridge and Roman Tiger, who's 9 lengths behind. Little Mike up the backstretch, 1.5 lengths over Beckham Bend. Teeks North and Slew's Answer right behind. The half mile was an easy one, 48 seconds flat. And then it's Bad Debt, Livingston Street. And they're followed by Bell by the Ridge, who's 6 lengths off the lead. Roman Tiger is the trailer. Little Mike scampers into the far turn with a 2-length lead. He's been there all the way so far. Beckham Bend is second. On the inside, Slew's Answer. Teeks North fourth to the outside. Behind the leaders, Bad Debt is next. 3/4 went in 1:11 3, and Little Mike makes his way to the top of the stretch in front. Slew's Answer taken off the rail to run after him. Teeks North has to do better. Bad Debt's trying to get going. It's Little Mike to catch. A furlong to run. Little Mike by 1.5 lengths. Slew's Answer second. He's trying to close in. It's Little Mike, and Slew's Answer coming to the wire. Little Mike ran huge in the turf. Slew's Answer was second, Bad Debt was third, Livingston Street fourth.
Huge win for Little Mike. Did I tell you that he could get 1 1/8 or what, Kate?
Yeah, it just goes to show you with the doubting, but I will say they made it easy for him with a half mile in 48 seconds. That was a very nice, comfortable pace Joe Bravo was able to establish, and while he still had to muscle his way at the top of the stretch, I don't really think there were many anxious moments. He got alone on the lead and then just did what he does best.
Beautiful ride by Joe Bravo. This horse takes his cues from the veteran. Well done, Carlo Vaccarezza, Little Mike, Little Nick, Team Vaccarezza taking today's Sunshine Million Turf. Now 4 wins in a row for Little Mike. We had a chance, Mike Canali, our producer, and I, to go to Carlo's restaurant last night, and he was talking about how he bred this mare to this stallion, and they said to him, "You're crazy. Why are you breeding to Spanish Steps, a $2,000 stud, and look at what he's produced?"
You know, it's amazing how consistent Little Mike has become. You know, he's flashed that ability, but he has just rattled off consecutive wins and seems to be getting better and better. He obviously loves this turf course, but I think beyond what he's accomplished on the racetrack is the joy that he's given his connections, and to see Little Mike, Little Nick, and the whole crew being able to lead the horse into the winner's circle and enjoy moments like this is truly special and what these days are all about.
And they're going to have to find an open spot on the wall at Carlo's restaurant up in Deerfield Beach. Frank and Dino's is the name of that.
I think they'll find a spot.
But nonetheless, yeah, they will find a spot. Little Mike, the ultimate goal, as Carlo was telling us, is to show up at Santa Anita and hopefully get that opportunity to run in the Breeders' Cup Turf Mile. And if he can skip over this turf course the way that it is and how much quicker it can be at Santa Anita, he might be trouble come Breeders' Cup time. This is how quick he is.
Reminds me a little bit of Precious Passion, a horse we saw in South Florida who had that dazzling speed on the turf and kind of surprised people with his ability to carry that speed against top competition. I think it'd be an awful lot of fun to see this crew in the Breeders' Cup. In the meantime, he gets it done, beating out a very nice field, including Slew's Answer, who does get the place, and Bad Debt for the show. But you think you can get me invited to one of those dinners?
You can't. I think we can get up there probably
maybe tonight.
Yeah. let's go back out to Kurt and Brad. And guys, as you know, covering this sport as long as you have, it's so much fun when you get to be around people like the Vaccarezzas and have success and how much passion they have for it.
Yeah, Scott, but it sounds like you shut Kate out of a dinner last night. That didn't sound too good, Brad. I don't know about that, huh?
I think dinner's on the house after Little Mike's victory in the Sunshine Millions turf.
Kate, you got to press Scott for those dinner plans. He can avoid you and decoy you once in a while. We're back live here at Sands.